Back on the cruise ship, the students realize their break isn't quite starting yet. They've got another test to tackle on board. Split into groups named after planets, there are 8 groups of 14 students each. Classes A and B contribute 3 students each, while classes C and D have 4 each. The test lasts for 3 days. First up, each group picks a VIP for the day. They meet twice daily to discuss and strategize. There are 4 possible scenarios. 1. If everyone except the VIP guesses correctly, they all get points. 2. If someone guesses wrong, excluding the VIP's classmates, the VIP gets points. 3. If someone outside the VIP's class guesses right, they get points. 4. If the wrong answer is sent, the class loses points, but the VIP gains some. Ayanokoji and Suzune confirm they're not VIPs. Ryuan, still suspicious of Suzune, threatens Class D but doesn't get any answers. During their first meeting, tensions rise in Team Mars, Ayanokoji's team. They consider aiming for Case 1, but Class A refuses to cooperate. Later, Kei faces harassment from Class C students, denying allegations of an altercation. This leaves her shaken. Ayanokoji's group discusses VIP identity, but Koenji guesses Saturn's VIP, gaining more vacation time. Ayanokoji talks to Suzune about Kei's situation, interrupted by Ryuan, who's breaking rules to identify the VIPs. Suzune rejects Ryuan's proposal to team up against Class A due to his unsettling behavior. Ayanokoji, on his way back, sees Kei distressed and asking Harada for help against bullies from Class C. Harada advises her to apologize and emphasizes their relationship is just for show. This angers Kei, who ends their fake relationship, feeling uncared for by Harada. Ayanokoji learns about Kei's past as a bullying victim from Harada. After days of deadlock and meetings, Kei is confronted by her bullies, with Ayanokoji and Yukamura nearby. When the situation escalates, Yukamura tries to intervene but ends up facing Kei's frustration. On the third day, Kei is coerced into a distressing situation by Shijou and her followers, with Ayanokoji observing from afar. He later approaches Kei, promising protection in exchange for her cooperation in uniting Class D before the final meeting. Honami and Ayanokoji discuss reaching Class A, needing a total of 20 million points. Ayanokoji admits to seeing Honami's points while handling her phone. During the meeting, everyone shows their emails to prove they're not VIPs. Yukamura shocks everyone by admitting to being the VIP and urges secrecy until the test ends. Honami sees through Ayanokoji's switcheroo with Yukamura's phone, implying Ayanokoji is the real VIP. Kei and Ayanokoji reveal their plan to swap not just phones but SIM cards, with help from Sei. Honami knew about their plan but kept quiet due to their ties with Class D. Ryuan threatens Suzune and Class D again before leaving. The VIPs were chosen based on their place in the hiragana scripture and their associated planet group, which Class C figured out. Back at school, the next test is a sports festival with Team Red, Classes A and D, versus Team White, Classes B and C. The festival offers rewards and penalties based on performance. Ayanokoji and Suzune disagree on how to approach the festival, with Suzune suggesting cheating while Ayanokoji prefers fair play. The class debates how to choose participants, with Suzune's idea of pairing stronger and weaker students facing opposition from Kei. They eventually compromise, but Suzune's attitude causes tension. Harada resolves the conflict by polling the class, siding with Kei. Kei and Ayanokoji discuss their strategy and Ayanokoji hints at a traitor in Class D. As the class prepares for the festival, Suzune continues to clash with a student, leaving Ayanokoji puzzled by her refusal to compromise. Ayanokoji observes Suzune's behavior during the three-legged race and concludes that she avoids facing her own weaknesses and instead projects her disappointment onto others. He shares his suspicion with Suzune that Kikyo might be betraying the class. They decide to spy on Team White to gather evidence. As the sports festival begins, Sudo motivates Class D despite their setbacks. Ryuan targets Sudo and Suzune in events, causing Team Red to lose. Ayanokoji reveals he never intended for the class to win and advises doing nothing as the best strategy. Sudo, feeling betrayed, lashes out and leaves, lowering class morale. Ayanokoji suggests Suzune use pseudo as leverage to regain his trust. During a break, Kei and Harada ask Ayanokoji about the traitor, and he implicates Suzune. Ryuin confronts Suzune, demanding private points for not exposing her actions. Suzune's brother witnesses this exchange, leading Suzune to confront her own shortcomings. Meanwhile, Sudo reveals his reasons for attending the festival and Suzune encourages him not to give up. Ayanokoji confronts Kikyo about the leaked list, and she admits to selling VIP information to Ryuin in hopes of getting Suzune and Ayanokoji expelled. Suzune makes another attempt to convince Sudo, emphasizing their shared desire for recognition. She opens up about seeking approval from her brother and realizing the importance of friendship. Sudo reconciles with the class and apologizes for his actions. However, due to injuries, Suzune and another student can't participate in the final event, so Kikyo and Ayanokoji take their places. Before the relay race, Manabu challenges Ayanokoji to a race, intrigued by his capabilities. Despite Manabu's initial lead, Ayanokoji surprises everyone by nearly beating him. Suzune meets with Ryuin and Kikyo, confronting Kikyo about her betrayal. Kikyo confesses her plan to remove Suzune and anyone who knows about her past. Ryuin admits his involvement but backs off when Suzune reveals she's been recording their conversation. Following the festival, Manabu resigns as student council president. Maya shyly asks Ayanokoji for his phone number, hinting at her feelings for him. Despite finishing last, no students are expelled, much to Ms. Chabashira's relief. Ms. Chabashira announces the next special test, Paper Shuffle, where pairs of students must earn a combined score of 60 points or face expulsion. Suzune reveals rumors about Kikyo's troubled past in middle school, hinting at a potential connection to an incident that devastated their class. Ayanokoji suggests to Suzune that they should consider expelling Kikyo, but Suzune believes she can sway Kikyo to their side. Meanwhile, Ryuin threatens his classmates in an attempt to uncover their spy, Shijou, but he backs off upon realizing she was manipulated by the real mastermind. Ayanokoji and Suzune collaborate with others to devise a strategy for the mini-test, intentionally allowing some students to perform poorly to manipulate the pairings. Later, Ayanokoji promises to protect Kei regardless of the circumstances. During the mini-test, Ayanokoji is paired with Maya for Paper Shuffle. Yukamura's study group encourages Ayanokoji to stop holding back and prepare for any potential tricks from other classes during the test. Ayanokoji shares his insights with Suzune, and they agree to keep an eye on Kikyo. Ayanokoji receives an email from Ryuin inquiring about the mastermind behind Class D. Suzune confronts Kikyo alone and proposes a bet for the Paper Shuffle math exam. If Suzune wins, Kikyo will stop bothering her, but if Kikyo wins, Suzune will be expelled. Suzune's brother witnesses the agreement. Kikyo invites Ayanokoji to meet and adds a condition that if she wins, Ayanokoji will be expelled too. He accepts but presses Kikyo for her background, suspecting she knows about his and Suzune's suspicions. Kikyo reveals her past as a top achiever who craved attention, leading her to adopt a kind and compassionate persona to gain others' trust. Despite her efforts, Kikyo's mental health suffers. To cope, she starts a blog where she gossips about her classmates, leading to her friends rejecting her. Exhausted from pretending, she reveals secrets, causing chaos within the class. She hints at having dirt on some Class D students, finding excitement in knowing others' dirty secrets, which drives her to desperate measures for attention. Ryuin discovers Kikyo's deal. In exchange for their expulsion, she'd let Class C win Paper Shuffle. He interrupts Ayanokoji's study session, trying to find out the genius behind Class D. Feeling comfortable with the group, Haruka forms a buddy group with Ayanokoji, Yukamura, now Kaisei, and Irie, dubbed the Ayanokoji group. Ayanokoji asks Kei to play a crucial role in Paper Shuffle. Kei confronts Kikyo, who offers exam questions to Ryuin. On the exam day, Suzune ensures only her questions are accepted, foiling Kikyo's plan. Ryuin discovers a cheat sheet on Suzune's uniform, implying betrayal by one of his classmates. Kikyo fulfills her end of the bargain but threatens Ayanokoji. Ryuin targets Kei to lure out the mastermind. The next day, Class D faces harassment from Class C, orchestrated by Ryuin to flush out the mastermind. Ayanokoji meets his father, who pressures him to return to the White Room. He refuses, determined to live independently and pursue his dreams, despite his father's wishes. Mr. Sakayanagi, the school's chairman, steps in and asserts that Ayanokoji's enrollment was on his recommendation, preventing Ayanokoji's father from forcing his withdrawal. Ayanokoji confronts Ms. Chabashira for lying about knowing his father's influence. Later, Ayanokoji apologizes to Kei for manipulating her and decides to abandon his goal of advancing to Class A, leaving it to Suzune and Harada. He tells Kei that this will be their final conversation. Ryuin interrupts Class D, causing Koenji to leave. Ryuin provokes Koenji, leading to a confrontation in the courtyard. Arisu and other Class A officers arrive, escalating the situation. Koenji tries to defuse it by declaring his disinterest in the inter-class battle, but Arisu taunts Ryuin. Ryuin threatens Suzune and Class D, outlining his plan to use Kei as bait to catch the mastermind. He ties Kei up and pressures her to reveal the mastermind or risk exposing her past bullying. Kei defends Ayanokoji and convinces Ryuin to release her, proving his vulnerability. Ryuin becomes enraged, but Kei remains calm, denying the existence of a mastermind. As Ayanokoji agrees to go karaoke with his friends, Ryuin continues to torment Kei, accusing her of being set up during the special test on the ship. Ayanokoji decides to intervene, abandoning the karaoke plan and seeking Ms. Chabashira's help to stop Ryuin's actions. With Manabu's assistance, Ayanokoji convinces Ms. Chabashira to intervene, promising Suzune's entry into the student council in exchange for dealing with Ryuin. Ayanokoji reveals himself as the mastermind to save Kei from further harm, prompting a confrontation with Ryuin. Ryuin threatens Ayanokoji, but Ayanokoji quickly defeats his subordinates and declares that he orchestrated the conflict, surprising Ryuin and Kei. A fierce battle ensues between Ayanokoji and Ryuin, with Ayanokoji remaining calm and confident throughout. After defeating Ryuin, Ayanokoji rushes to console Kei, promising to protect her no matter what. Ryuin begins to reconsider his actions, while Ibuki disapproves of his newfound submission. Meanwhile, Kei finds her feelings for Ayanokoji growing stronger, especially after Maya confesses her feelings to him. Kei becomes confused when Ayanokoji asks about Maya's interests, leading to further uncertainty about her own feelings. The following day, Ayanokoji informs Suzune about her brother's desire for her to join the student council, believing it would benefit her overall. Later, Ayanokoji meets with Ryuin to discuss how he saved him by taking responsibility for the gymnasium kidnapping incident. Ayanokoji predicts that despite Class D reaching Class C, they will eventually be downgraded after achieving his goal to expel Kikyo the next term. On Christmas Day, Ayanokoji and Maya have a meeting, joined by Kei and Harada for a double date. After Kei and Harada leave, Maya confesses her feelings to Ayanokoji, who rejects her as he has never felt romantic emotions for anyone. Kei observes from afar and questions if Ayanokoji views everyone as tools, to which he neither confirms nor denies. She offers him a gift, and Ayanokoji reciprocates with cold medicine. As they walk, he calls her by her given name for the first time, pondering if he will ever stop seeing others as pawns. As Kei and Ayanokoji part ways, Arisu approaches him, revealing her knowledge of him from the White Room and her intention to challenge him. Ayanokoji welcomes the challenge,